And we're live. What up,
Are we?
everybody?
Sure.
Welcome, one and all, to Once Upon a Tabletop, where we tell fantabulous tales using tabletop RPGs. I'm your host and game master, Shane Rachel, is joined today by our lovely Season 1 cast. Say hello, everybody.
Huh?
They're all insane today.
Yeah,
We're all disappointed.
we had
in
some
a certain
weirdness
number.
while we were setting up. It's a
But
thing.
in reverse.
My apologies.
That one.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
always Sammy. Sammy's always the problem. That's the way it be.
I didn't have difficulties of the technical variety.
that look. Anyway. Welcome to episode 4. We are ready to get started, but first, as always, we have a couple of notes we have to get through. The first note, of course, is that during the episode itself, we won't be interacting with chat. However, just because the episode is done doesn't mean the show is over. Stick around after the end to see bonus action, where we'll hang out, talk about the episode, talk about the show, answer questions, hang out with chat, thank followers, all that stuff. So, when we leave, you don't leave. Just let us leave, and we'll come back. We promise. The other thing is that this is episode 4, and that means that we had an episode 3. And that means we have some stuff to talk about. We have to do a little bit of a recap. So, as always, I'm going to throw it to my cast and give them an opportunity here to see if one of them are brave enough to try to recap last episode. Because last episode was chunky. We're going to see if anybody has the testicular fortitude. Talk about it.
All right, so obviously we're going for one of the dudes because
Not it.
You don't know what I identify as.
I rather do, but
I don't know. He's cute
So
enough.
the episode was very
For me.
confusing, and suddenly we were all in the fucking library, and everything was the thing, and then we were like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Okay,
And
you are not going to be helping
everyone was
Shippy with this.
everywhere. Look, nobody was starting.
I'm even more confused.
Have you ever seen the movie Everything Everywhere
Everything
All at Once?
everywhere all the time. Yep. So everything was
All right.
fucked. We were
I
in a
mean,
rift.
I can.
Just give it
Okay.
to Mowgli. Just give it to Mowgli.
All right.
Please.
Is this how every recap's going to go? Sammy's going to start off, and we're like, no, please, no, Mowgli, save us.
Apparently that's the only way to get it to work.
Why is it defaulting to me? Anyway, we were all doing our own shit, and then we were teleported to the library, talking with Min all of a sudden, and we all thought that was really weird. And then Min started talking to us about World Stone stuff and the dying of worlds, and then she decided to show us a whole bunch of different realities. Realities of our own making. We were doing things like, standing in line because we were students in the university that was somehow the school. Other times we closed all the rifts. One time a giant fist came out the sky and smashed the entire city. That was a little weird. But she basically told us that the world stones are basically the batteries that power the different realms, different worlds, and that due to the gods' disinterest and apathy and really not giving a shit, the batteries are dying, which were weakening the barriers between the realms, which were causing the rifts. She needs our world stone because 1, it's special, and 2, she wants to become powerful enough to go confront the gods because she's angry that her world was destroyed. There was a lot of discussion going on between if it was right, if it was wrong, if she's just insane because she's tried this 104 times and has not succeeded, that the gods actually exist because we just don't worship the gods in this world.
Wasn't a big thing.
And then we all woke up by the well in the very first rift we went through because she was mind freaking us the entire time. And then we walked through the rift like nothing happened, and here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, and she took Aggie, had his mind blown by figuring out that you could use illusion magic on card tricks to fool people. That blew his mind. He also kind of word vomited all over Raylith. And then Min showed Aggie her world, Promethea, which was destroyed by some super weapon. And warned Aggie that it was going to happen to his realm. And that's where we're at.
I'm gonna have to remember what we know and what we don't know. And I don't know a lot.
Was that kind of the gist of what happened last episode?
Yeah, you got most of it. I would say the biggest thing you missed is that you all had to make the decision to destroy your own world.
Take out a world to pass her test.
Yeah.
Yep.
You did have to prove to her that you had the
cojones.
Yeah, to end a world if it would continue your mission, potentially. Anyway, that you had what it takes, so to speak. But aside from that, yeah, you got pretty much everything, I think. So yeah, we ended last episode with what are we gonna call this? Aggie and Min's big day out, I guess, and then Aggie finally heading back to bed. With everybody kind of collapsing, sleeping, and dealing on dreaming and hanging out and figuring out, processing through that vital thing we know as sleep. The events of the previous day. You all wake up the next morning. You feel stronger, more vitalized. We did level up. It's another thing you kind of missed at the end of the last episode. And everyone faces a brand new morning. This time there's no window in the barracks. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Someone is gone.
Well, that happened to me and
Weather
Courtney
warning.
simultaneously. That was the thing. No, was it a weather warning? Or was it one
Amber
of the
alert or
Amber
weather
alert
alert?
things? I don't know.
Somebody who was missing is located.
Oh, good. Hey, positive news.
Positive news. There we go.
Yep. Congratulations,
For being found.
Amber Alert people. But anyway. So yeah, you all wake up the next morning. You all, have that kind of internal clock that tells you it is morning, even though you can't see the sun. And this is going to be an interesting point because, that first arc for our story was kind of front-loaded and kind of railroaded a little bit. I knew exactly what I was going to make you guys do, but now we come to a point where you guys actually have freedom. What do players? Because this is on you guys. You have experienced the past few days. What are you going to do about it?
Aggie's still trying to sleep.
Fair.
He's
Yeah.
he's just trying to just not wake up just because he doesn't want to be forced to do things.
It's a very Aggie thing to do, I think.
Well, I know at some point they're gonna want us for the report. But
And
they
we
said
already
we have the
have-
morning off, right?
They generally give you a couple days to kind of, deprocess and debrief and make sure all your details are in a row before making you give an official report. That is the thing. Yeah.
Is Zen awake yet?
Zen's not there.
Zen is completely not in the room.
Mm-hmm.
What is Zen doing?
He's mastering.
Um,
I'm gonna need you to. We're gonna need you to.
he's doing Huh?
You're gonna need to think of a different way to say that, my guy.
Phrasing.
He
Phrasing.
what? He's mastering techniques.
Then put techniques after that, and maybe something else too,
Phrasing.
because that still doesn't help. What techniques?
Yeah,
Hmm?
he's training. You wouldn't understand. You're not a monk. Hand-to-hand techniques.
You're not making it any better.
Ugh.
Throwback to episode 2. D&D at least has to be a little bit horny, and I guess it's him.
That's how you guys are taking it. I'm answering directly. You have the filthy minds.
Sure.
Mhm.
Nope.
Okay. So you're out exercising,
I'm-
training,
Yeah,
stretching.
practicing grapple techniques.
Grapple techniques in particular are interesting because you can't practice grapple techniques with a dummy. Not really a thing you can do. I imagine you probably are in the training courtyard in one of these little like square like combat practice rings, you know what I mean? Like it's like filled with dirt and sand and stuff for softer landings. Who would your opponent be? Who would you be sparring with this morning?
I could have been sparring with you. That would have been fun.
I mean, it could be you.
Do it. Fuck it. Little
Mm,
PvP.
It could be. It could be. Okay. So we have Zen and Mimi, in combat gear, ready and waiting, sparring with each other in the main courtyard. We have Raylith waking up. We have Aggie not waking up. Early in the morning, I think there would probably be a group of maybe 10, 15 people out in the courtyard training. There's probably 5 or 6 training dummies set up, a couple people instructing a couple other people, that kind of thing. There's archery targets set up with people shooting them and stuff. And you guys are kind of off in your little corner in one of these, like I said, these little practice rings. It's got a bunch of sand and dirt and stuff like that to make landings softer. What's that like for you two?
Huh? Softer landings?
No, the what's sparring look like?
Well, he's trying to grapple. I guess I'm just trying to swing on him and not get grappled.
Yeah, I'm practicing trying to grapple on a bigger target, bigger, meaty target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a grapple check, and give me an athletics or acrobatics check. Your choice, Mimi.
Athletics or acrobatics? Where am I at? Okay. So that. Here. 19. Yes.
Hmm.
Athletics, 19.
What's the grapple check?
That would be, what's that? 27 plus
Ugh!
2, so 29.
What the fuck?
Hold on, I gotta.
I'm getting
Where's
folded
your
like
math
a lawn
mathing?
chair.
What?
Wait,
I don't feel like that's right.
DC equals
8 plus
plus
proficiency bonus
plus
plus
strength.
strength.
Ow. And then I just roll my thing and add my
8 plus
bonus.
proficiency bonus plus. It's not your base strength score. It'll be your strength modifier. I'm fairly
Which is
certain.
2. So the
Your
proficiency and the strength is, yeah.
Your proficiency should only be like a +2 or +3 right now.
I mean,
My proficiency
have a
bonus
plus-
is a +2,
yeah.
and my strength, the bonus modifier, yeah, it's a +2.
So you have 14. She has to beat 14 DC.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no way that could be a 29. If you had a 29, I'm trying to figure out what you were doing there. I was like, are you adding your strength score without? Like, no, okay. So 14 is your grapple DC. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you get in, you try to do the grapple, you slide under, try to grab her around her waist, try to do the whole like suplex maneuver, pick her up, get her off balance, gonna do all that. And you go to swing, like you go to shift her weight, she just doesn't move. Just solid stance, very wide stance.
What are you doing, Zen? This don't feel quite right. I don't know if this is the whole grappling thing I've heard so much about.
The problem is you're just a little bit heavier than what I thought.
Now we talking about people's weight? I'm just gonna pick him up.
Oh, good luck.
What do I need to roll for that?
I think you would also have to roll a grapple check.
Grapple?
Yep.
What is that off of? Is that off my unarmed?
It would technically you make an attack, and then if you hit, you get to choose to grapple. But we'll assume you're right there on top of him. We'll assume you'll hit. So the grapple check would be just like his 8 plus proficiency plus strength.
8 plus proficiency. So that's. So both of the modifiers?
Yep.
So 8 plus 5.
Okay. So 13. And then you get to roll acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, 23 acrobatics.
23. Okay. Yeah, no, you go to grab him and he's just not there. Like he is now shifted around you to the other side, still holding you around your waist, completely out from where you tried to grab him.
Well, this is about trying to get a fish out the lake, I tell you that. Slippery little thing, aren't you?
Absolutely. And then I try again for a grapple.
Okay. We'll assume you'll hit. Mimi, give me an athletics or acrobatics. DC is 14.
I make it. That's 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
This goes on back and forth for a little bit. And eventually you see like one or two people kind of watching from a distance, kind of waiting to get into the ring and do their own practicing. And they're just kind of laughing because neither one of you are able to get a leg up on the other. You're just kind of shifting around and wiggling and trying to lift and trying to do all this, but like, man, nothing's happening. It is a dead standstill between you two, which is kind of impressive given the size of both people involved. But while that's going on, Aggie's still trying to sleep. What is Raylith doing if she doesn't have people in the room?
If she doesn't have people in the room, she's probably getting up and wandering the halls a bit, kind of thinking on what all happened. Like, for example, the time in the library didn't necessarily happen. So she's probably going to go try to find the references and stuff to the world seeds, anything talking about gods. And just waiting, I guess, for their next assignment, really. She'll have her weapons and stuff on her because she's never going to not be on guard, ready to go. But she'll probably just, like, double check the stuff that happened to make sure that some of it lines up.
Okay. Kind of seeing if that information you got was accurate or not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You'd head to the library, which we described before as a kind of large open room with tables and chairs and stuff kind of spread out, the walls filled top to bottom with all different manner of books and stuff like journals and anything that's written It's kind of collected in one building near the government building in the center of the city. There is a kind of balcony that rings the upper floor as well, providing a second floor where people can, go up and find different books and stuff. And you approach the library table. There's an older gnome woman, kind of white stringy hair, not very attractive looking. Also has a massive nose. She just kind of looks up at you because she's not standing on a table or a stand to make herself like even height. She's just kind of looking at you, floating above the desk. Hey, what do you want?
I'm looking for books that would have some information about a world stone.
Oh,
One word.
world stone. All right, well, get to it then.
Do you guys not have a way to help us find books?
Have you never been to a library before?
Not this one.
Have you been to other libraries before? This is the only library in the city.
Look, as they have been in a library, she's pausing like, I don't know.
I feel like you'd know.
Debatable.
Scrolls are on the table over there. She kind of points towards this little like side table next to the desk that has all the like find object type scrolls that would let you find your own books in the library.
Okay, she's gonna move over to those and try to use one to find. The book saying anything about a world stone?
Okay. So you look for Oldstone. One word or two?
One.
Okay. You do in fact find a book, two books in particular, and eventually you do find the same kind of information that you found before. The word world stone is mentioned in two different ways. One as an old mineral that was eventually renamed to mithril. The other as a fictional kind of MacGuffin in an adventure book that you do have to kind of cross-reference and kind of go back in the series to find what it actually is, that kind of thing. But it is, coincidentally, the exact same books that you guys read before. This exact same. And I do mean exact.
Okay, so last time I think we had found the second book in the series, but we didn't find the first book in the series, did we?
No, so you found the term world stone mentioned, but it didn't exactly explain what it was. You had to go back to the first book where they explained that the world stone is actually called the divinity seed and has its own little bits and pieces there. Yeah.
So having verified that part, I think she's going to try to find any information about the divinity seed. Doing
further. A double search and looking for a divinity seed. Okay. Give me an investigation check, please.
Yes. Okay. This is gonna be flat. That's a 17.
17 is not bad. Doing a search for the term divinity seed will actually bring up several other books. Most of them are journals. Little like pieces of books that people have filled out that they have just kind of brought here because the way the library works is anything that is written, anything that can be collected and considered knowledge is stored here. There are extra protections and stuff on the library to keep things from, like, in case there was a fire or some kind of other natural disaster, a flood, something like that, that these books are all protected because this library does kind of sum up the total written knowledge to be passed down to other generations for the entirety of Endemira as far as the city of Astra knows. And so you find a series of journals written by a cleric talking about worshipping some god that they found that was mentioned in some ancient kind of scrolls, that those scrolls reference something, and it keeps kind of going back into this long history. But religion isn't really a thing in the city of Astra. There aren't many clerics that legitimately worship a god rather than just using healing magic and stuff and working as something like a nurse or doctor. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So these journals, you find kind of margins and stuff written in the notes, or notes written in the margins rather, from like a second source that kind of not necessarily contradicts some of the notes and stuff that you find, but they question it. It's something like, is this guy crazy? Like, we don't have gods. What the hell is he worshiping? You know, stuff like that. Someone has kind of studied these notes at some point before. And they do talk about divinity seeds. They talk about how they, serve as batteries and how one can draw divine power from them. And in particular, with the 17, the new note that I'm going to give you here is that anyone can take power from a divinity seed. As long as you can find it, you can take its power, regardless of race or strength or anything else like that. These divinity seeds give up their power willingly.
Okay.
Did all that make sense? Do you need any kind of extra explanation on anything?
No, I think I'm good there. When the person was talking about the god that like everyone was like thinking he was just blaspheming, is a name mentioned for the god, or is it just over in general?
Yeah, I can give you a name of the 17. Kismet.
Kismet?
Mm-hmm. Kismet.
A name of the 17? What you said?
Is it a name with a 17?
With a 17.
I didn't make
Okay.
17 fucking gods. I'm not that brave. Never keep them straight in my head.
I was just double checking. I heard that. I guess depending on like time and stuff that it takes for her to do all that, she would probably then, if she had time left in the day, go to. She'd go to look up Kismet and see if there's any.
Look stuff on. I don't think you would find anything on Kismet in the library. It would reference you back to these. It's kind of one source.
Is there a name of the person who wrote the journal?
Sure. Give me 1 second. I have a bunch of names for random stuff that you would find the name Nico Dwerryhouse.
I'm sorry, Nico. What?
Dwerryhouse. DW, because that's the way it goes. ERRY house. Fantasy names.
I guess that would be.
Meanwhile, Zin and Mimi fight each other to a dead standstill about an hour later. You're both pretty tired. It's not going to do much good to continue out in this little courtyard. Eventually, you kind of leave the sparring ring and let other people have their turns. You're both sweaty and,
Chow time.
sore and stuff like that. Immediately chow time.
Hell yeah, it's chow time.
You know what? I think I will actually join her. I've had newfound respect for her.
Okay. Newfound respect. Are we assuming that you didn't have respect before, or now you just have more? I'm just curious.
We'll put a pen into it.
Okay. Y'all are gonna head to the cafeteria. What about Aggie? Is he deciding to open his eyes
I
yet?
think Aggie is he didn't sleep well because he had a lot of nightmares, especially with living through a couple apocalypses.
Yeah, just a few.
And I think he'll like drag himself out of bed, but he won't be very rested. and just be like, I'm just going to go eat. I'm going to see if Tomas can punch someone in the nuts to make me feel better
It does make everybody feel better. Yeah.
and find something to do.
Okay. So you're also heading to the cafeteria then. The three of you eventually do all enter the cafeteria at around the same time, where you guys have kind of see each other across the room entering from different points and stuff. But we've described the cafeteria before. An open room with a bar at one end where you can order things. You see the menu up this morning, and it has the kind of classic breakfast staples. Toast, this time made from a nice brioche. We have scrambled eggs, fried eggs, poached eggs, any kind of egg you can imagine. Bacon, sausage, and 3 different kinds of grits. Just because.
All right, I'm gonna order my breakfast. Have myself some over medium eggs, no, over easy eggs, and some cheese grits, and some of that brioche, maybe some bacon and sausage.
So literally a little bit of everything. Okay. You get up to the bar, and Tomas is not there, unfortunately. Instead, you see a we'll say tiefling woman with light blue skin, kind of black hair pulled up into a ponytail. It's kind of okay. Is that it? She says it very sarcastically, knowing that you pretty much ordered some of everything.
Is there an issue, darling? I don't know if you see me and what we all typically do here, but I'm gonna eat while I can.
One here is so great. Yeah. Fine. Take your number, go back to your table. I'll bring it out to you soon. I guess.
And you're in the kitchen.
I'm not in the kitchen. The kitchen's back there, thank you. And points towards the
Yeah, you're
doors and
doing
stuff behind the door.
such a good job, darling.
Yeah, well, so are you. Watch your hips.
They do me just fine. I'm sure yours are. Maybe you could eat some more.
You're holding up the line. Can you please? Thank you.
That's what they all say. Okay, bye, sweet pea.
Get out the way!
Shut the fuck up, Aggie. Anyways.
I don't even know you.
All right, Pipsqueak. I'm gonna scan the room, and I kind of want to look for some of the older individuals who look like they might have been around for a little while. Little grizzled, probably more than a few battle scars.
Here's the thing. We have discussed this a little bit. Not many people last very long in the Guardian Corps. Those that do are typically very well known. People like Arthur, people like Boreal, Steel Grip. There aren't many. You do find people with scars, but they're not much older than you are. They haven't been in the Corps for very long, maybe a year or two compared to your few days, but that's probably about like the max as far as like straight up experience and stuff that you're gonna find. Other people, again, like I said, like Arthur, like Boreal, the people who have been here for like 10, 20 plus years are very
up.
few and far between. Not even necessarily higher up, just very rare. Very, very rare.
Okay. Then I'll just take my shit and kind of find a place with some people to sit down at.
Okay. You drop at a table with probably about 5 other people or so, people that you would recognize from the tests that you had to take in the beginning. Those kind of things. You see that most of them are kind of sore. They spent most of yesterday training while you guys were all fucking around in Riftland. And they're kind of, feeling that, how like when you do some serious exercise, you don't really feel it the day after. But then the second day after, that shit hits you like a ton of bricks. You know what I'm talking about? They're kind of having that same kind of dear God, what the fuck have we signed up for kind of feeling and stuff. Not really talking much, just lots of groaning and then putting the face right down to the edge of the table and shoveling food in your mouth because you can't be bothered to lift the spoon too high kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You ever been there before?
To that degree, fuck no. Sort of sit down? Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are tired. Yeah, but that's kind of what you find. Like I said, they're not talking much. They're not a very vocal group. Just
Okay, well, Mimi's gonna do what Mimi does best. Hi, y'all. Just a quick question. I know you're shoveling food down your gullet. Do any of you have, family history, anything like that, where there's talks of gods or anything of the like? Just curious.
do you know what a plasmoid is? I assume you know what a plasmoid is. Okay, Sammy doesn't know what a plasmoid is. Okay. Have you ever seen That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime? The anime?
You ever seen Flubber?
You ever seen Flubber?
Yeah.
You seen Flubber? Okay. Imagine if Flubber was a person. Humanoid shaped, arms, legs, head, that kind of thing. Just like a goop in the shape of a person. This goop is kind of laying its head on the table, kind of resting. The food has mostly been devoured and stuff at this point, but you'll hear a voice come from somewhere in there. There's no face or anything, no mouth or anything like that, but you'll hear a voice kind of be like, what do you mean gods exactly?
Things of old, supposedly can create or destroy people used to worship type of deal.
I mean, it really kind of depends on if you're talking about, like, people, like, stories that people tell, because, like, there's a lot of books that have gods in them. I mean, I've spent some time down at the library, and there's a ton of stories, but, like, they're not real or anything. It's just not really what I think we would know if there were gods around, you know what I mean? Like, then I wouldn't be in so much pain right now.
Yeah. Well, when you were reading about those, was it ever anything or anyone specific that it ever mentioned?
I mean,
Like,
there's
that
a
would be
ton
pretty
of
interesting.
them. Pretty much every series has their own pantheon. I mean, you've got, like, and he'll name off a couple of book series. I would name off a couple of book series, but if I do it, they would be real book series and just stuff I like Cradle and Brandon Sanderson. And I don't want to do that because I don't want either one of them going after me for copyright infringement. But yeah, he would, he'll name off a couple of, like, fantasy series that are kind of written before the veilbreak incident and stuff. And that's kind of what they are, just fantasy series. You may know them. You in particular probably wouldn't know them. Yeah. Because
Oh, okay. So it also didn't ever talk to you
you
about
would know it as nerdy shit.
very nerdy shit. Like world stones or divinity seeds.
Oh yeah, it's from that one series. What was it called? Seeker something or other. Yeah, I've read that.
Okay, so that's just about the only mention you got of that one out of them.
Yeah. It was a crap series, if I'm being honest. I don't even think it was finished.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
On account
sorry
of
to
him
bother
dying
y'all.
in the apocalypse. You know that whole thing.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. It does kind of
Oh,
suck.
cool.
While Mimi is talking with these students, Aggie has his own plate, and he wants to cast Mage Hand, turn invisible, and steal bacon off her plate.
Use Mage Hand. Turn invisible. Still bacon off
Which
your
I
plate.
which I can do.
All Are you using the spell invisibility, or are you just hiding?
No, with the feat I have, I can cast Mage Hand without uh um somatic or verbal components, and I can turn the hand invisible.
Oh, you're turning the hand invisible, not yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you, because the way you said it, you said I'm a cast mage hand and turn invisible. I thought you were also turning invisible. Okay. Yeah. So is that the ledger domain thing? I think rogues get that naturally.
Telekinetic. It's
Yeah.
telekinetic.
Okay. Yeah, Mimi, you're sitting there talking. Bacon is just floating off your plate because.
Oh, I don't get a roll sleight of hand. All right.
I don't know how you're gonna roll sleight of hand when she's sitting directly in front of the plate, and it
Well,
would
she's
be
talking to people, so maybe
like
she's
I was
not
gonna
paying
say I'm
attention.
literally wrapping
In-
up to eat.
in my opinion, the way this works is if you were like in front of her rolling sleight of hand, and it wasn't invisible, you could be doing things like distracting with this hand or something like that, or causing this hand to do something while this hand does something like that. You see what I'm saying? You could do, but with an invisible hand, the only thing that's going to be happening here is that it's just going to be floating up and moving, and I think it's kind of hard to hide that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. And if you look over, Aggie has like a plate going.
Constipated force user over here.
Yeah, first time he's ever used it, doesn't really know how to use it.
Well, I'm gonna eat my food now.
As the bacon floats over to me, she doesn't do anything. Yes, more bacon. Yes.
I think I would just
Victory
ignore it
bacon.
after seeing that face. Really
Zim
wanted
will,
that bacon.
Zim will walk over, take the floating bacon, be like, ooh, bacon.
Hi.
And
Just
continue to walk out.
halfway through as it floats from table to table, just snaps it out of the air. I like it.
Aggie will also follows it.
Okay. Splitting the party. Boy, I'm trying to give everybody equal screen time here. Like we're just like moving back and forth from thing to thing. Okay. Zen and Aggie, where are you guys going? I assume you guys wolf down food while Mimi's having a nerdy conversation.
Why are you following me?
I want mouth full of food. I want to ask you about question.
Oh, what?
I want to ask you about question.
Oh, what? What?
Where do you think the
Hello.
world stone is?
Somewhere in the world.
Do you think it's close?
I would think so. It could be here. During that whole trip we were on, did you find some place or notice anything strange?
Yeah. You know how, I've been saying for years and years and years the High Council's been doing experiments underneath the city and old tunnels.
There is no experiments underneath the city. How many times must I tell you this?
But in the visions we were given yesterday, I saw them. Doing all weird, like, chanting shit.
So you saw underneath the city
Yeah.
your whole big conspiracy thing in front of you.
No, just the tunnels.
Just the tunnels.
I didn't see a Maya anywhere.
So you just heard them.
Yeah, they were chanting stuff. It sounded all sinister.
But you didn't follow the sounds.
Well, I did, and then right before I like opened up the door to where they were, and boom, I was gone.
Did you tell anybody else about this? No, of course you didn't. Never mind.
Before I could, the world exploded again, and bam, we were gone. And then we were talking about trying to get into the city, then bam, we're gone. And then we're all bundled up and like all this other stuff. And then Mimi exploded the world.
Do you think you could take us there
I mean, I was underground, so like we could dig down. Maybe they're the ones that are using the divinity seed as a battery and like draining everything.
Watching
I want.
Shane's facial expressions is very funny.
I will not fall into your trap, but I will be willing to find this place and show you that once again it is all in your little head.
I mean, I feel like I have a pretty proportional head, but it exists. I'm telling you, like it's the only thing that makes sense of what's happening around us.
So you think it exists because you saw it in that whole warp reality?
Yeah,
Right, right.
and like if we don't do anything, like you know,
Mm-hmm.
the world's gonna end.
Mm, mm. I don't think so. Oh, but no, I can't talk to you about this. That's something I have to talk to Rayleigh about because you are smitten by that woman named Min.
I don't know what that word means, but I don't think so. All right.
Yeah, look at you. You're turning red. You're flustered. She's not even here. She has you
Shut up.
blushing.
Shut up. Why you gotta be so mean, man? You're
Oh,
just jealous because she likes me more than you.
yes, that's exactly what it is. Absolutely. You can have her, but
Yeah.
I'll be more than willing to see your conspiracy, to see what's down there. But we have to find a way to get down there. I'm sure there's no way we need to dig, so it has to be an entrance somewhere.
Yeah. You're a dwarf.
So,
Like, do you know if like other dwarves have like built like tunnels or something underneath the city?
I mean, I could fill stuff around, but that's only within about 60 feet.
You know, I think it's below the university. That's what makes sense. That's where the High Council is. It's probably underneath the university. We should go there.
Or maybe we should go there at night and not like right now.
Why? Why not right now? You think like they won't stop us? We're guardians. We saved the city yesterday.
Mm, all right.
We're bona fide heroes.
To who? This is just a job.
Yeah, defending the city. It's the thing that you always wanted to do. We're heroes of the city.
It's not something I always wanted to do. I just want to be able to protect people like you and the other people that I care about.
I don't need protection.
You do.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
You literally do. You can't do anything but be helpless. That's your superpower, being helpless.
What do you mean? I can do a lot of things now. Minor illusion, an image of men.
Wow.
Real quick, can you roll me an Arcana check, please?
18.
18. The image of men that you minor illusion doesn't show up as men. It shows up as, we'll say a elven woman, probably middle-aged, kind of light blonde hair that's kind of silvery at the edges, with a little headband, like a little gold headband and stuff around, wearing what looks to be like a blue outfit of some kind.
Headband like a diadem?
Yes, yeah. like a not exactly a crown, but like a
Goes around.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I don't know who that is. That was
No,
not what I was expecting to happen.
yeah. No, you did it. You said that's men. Yeah. Great job. Who is that person?
Why doesn't it look like her? I've never seen that person in my life.
You know what I never saw in my life?
What?
You being useful.
shit.
Ooh. Ooh.
I kid. I kid. Love you, little guy. All right, so let's go to the university. We'll stuff around and let's see what we can find, and then we'll report back to the fairy and the giant lady.
I'm going to cast suggestion on you. It's not going to go well because I think you're proficient with wisdom, but we'll see. We'll see. Wisdom saving throw, please.
It may. It's a 15.
You guys are level 4. DC is going to be like 13, 14 max at this point. So
No, it's 15.
It's 15. Well, meter beat.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go.
okay. Just barely Zin manages to slip out of it, but because it's part of the
Motherfucker.
because it's part of the incantation of the spell, what is it you suggest?
Go find me the tunnels.
Go find me the tunnels.
Yeah.
Not let's go find the tunnels. Just go find me the tunnels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I felt he just used the spell, tried to use the spell on me, correct?
Yeah, he doesn't have subtle casting, so he would have had to
Okay.
chant, wave his hands around, do a little thing, and then give you the suggestion. It would have been kind of obvious if he's standing right in front of you.
Okay. So I just do a little shrug. You son of a bitch.
What the hell's going on with my spells today? It's really weird.
I want to grapple him and drag him along.
Ah!
Okay. We know your DC is 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay. Once again, handbag Aggie makes an appearance. As you drag him, are you heading towards the government building? What used to be the university?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Raylith, you're finishing up your
I don't even have a
research.
bad dexterity score. This is insane.
You're finishing up your research and stuff, kind of going over. A lot of this is just, it's not necessarily like in-depth reading. It's just scanning for like specific words and stuff like that. But you kind of return these journals and stuff because they don't allow you to check out books here. Books can't leave the building thanks to protections and stuff like that. So what do?
I mean, I guess she'd head out after researching those specific topics. Unless, is there any kind of way to know if like a person who wrote these like is still alive? Like, is there a way to? Is there like any kind of record of that? Like, if this person perished by chance, or if they're still alive? The person who wrote the journals. Is there any kind like there would be a record of that kind of stuff, right? Or with so many, would there not be?
I think after the first couple of years, there probably would have been a genealogy record established in the city of Astra. Like once everything had settled down and the main part of the danger and stuff was handled, once all the protections and glyphs and stuff like that on the city walls were in place, I think that they probably would have established the genealogy. Where would the genealogy would probably be in the government building, I assume. For like population, I don't want to say population control, but like knowledge, I guess, would probably be the word. It'd probably be somewhere in the government building, I think.
Okay, then that's
Raylith slowly trying to plod the story along where she can over here. Meanwhile, as you head towards the government building, Mimi, do you finish your food? What do?
You know what? I spent some time with Zen. Aggie is Aggie, who is now with Zen. I'm gonna go find Raylith.
And go find
Um,
Raylith. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty large city. You don't exactly know where Raylith went this morning. How would you go about looking for Raylith? I'm curious.
I mean, considering how questioning she was about things, I'd probably start with the library.
I don't know if that's metagaming or not, but we'll count it as you justified it. So, I think you would find Raylith kind of coming out of the library. She'd explain. Would you explain the things you found?
has
To-
Mimi, I don't
to
think
Mimi
Mimi's
specifically,
really
'cause-
been receptive of anything she's been saying, not particularly. I don't know how much she'd share, but she would let her know, like, I'm just following the lead that I'm going to the government building to check some.
Okay, I'll come with you. We ain't
And
spent
I-
much time together. We're supposed to be like two peas in a pod out here.
Are we?
I said supposed to be. I didn't say that we currently were. You have, morals. Not to
And
say
we
that
know
I
you don't.
don't. I do. I have morals. I just am perhaps a little more ambiguous than you would like.
Are you gonna give me as much of a headache as Aggie did last night? Because if so, I can just chill over there.
Going with you. It's okay. I've been quiet a little bit.
Yep.
So what'd you learn?
Are Zen and Aggie like close to where they are?
So the library isn't very far away from the government building. I think you guys would probably end up there fairly close to the same time.
And they just hear me shouting, "Put me down, you ball-headed freak!"
If you're shouting it loud enough, yeah, definitely.
Speaking of headaches,
I don't
I
want
will
one.
proceed
Release
to
me, you
give
uncouth villain!
Aggie a noogie now while he's grappled.
here, how about we grab them? Because, we are supposed to be doing this whole thing together.
I mean,
Could have at least let me ride on your shoulders. This is humiliate. This is embarrassing.
I'm just whistling, just going down while providing a noogie.
Let's go grab the other two.
Okay.
You all you all meet up in front of the government building. The government building used to be the kind of main administration building of the university before the events of the veilbreak incident. You find like a series of large stairs. Imagine something like a courthouse. It's probably one of the only few buildings where decoration and aesthetics has remained, where the extra materials and stuff weren't stripped off buildings to provide stuff elsewhere, because it serves such an important function. Outside, you would see two lines of people kind of making their way up towards the door. One of them is much shorter than the other one. And you guys would know that this is where people come to make requests for additional supplies, stuff like additional rations for various reasons, or extra clothes or extra working stuff, stuff like that. And that's probably where the longer line is. The other one would be people asking to meet specifically with representatives from the High Council or the Low Council. that kind of thing. What do?
So-
This fire. She
Yeah,
knows what
where
she's
where did you need to go?
record.
Okay, we'll go that way. What are we doing in the records?
Searching to see if someone's still alive or dead.
Okay.
Ooh,
Person named Nico Twerry.
Interesting.
does the name Nico Jury House ring any bells? Probably not.
I don't think it would. Yeah. Also, Raina, you're cutting out just a little bit. I want to check your. Yeah.
My mic got bumped.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You head in, kind of skipping both the lines, because I don't think your particular need here kind of fits either one of those, and walk into the main building itself. The inside kind of looks like you would imagine a courthouse or administration building too. There's like a double staircase that kind of leads up to a higher floor, wings and stuff off to the left and right that head out, several desks set up with people standing in front of them helping, as these lines split into kind of multiple functions. And you guys would see a familiar face hanging out at one of these desks and doing some work. Torch, putting in her daily amount of, civil service. Here is waiting at one of these desks. Yep. Filling out requisition forms and stuff for people. At one of the desks on the left-hand side. Further up, kind of near the end on the right-hand desk, you would see a one of these desks that has a little sign on it that says record keeping. Nobody currently waiting in that line, because not many people check records. That's not a thing people do really. Standing behind the desk, you would see an older dwarvish woman. With a beard, because dwarven women are bearded in my world. I think that's important. And you would see kind of a shock of brown hair with a red beard. And probably just basic clothing. I don't think the people working here would probably be volunteers. So just like regular standard clothing, shirt, tunic, that kind of thing. Standing behind the desk. What do you?
I'm gonna bounce over and say hello to Torch.
Would say hello to Torch on the way over.
Oh, hey. I'll see you guys later. Remember, tonight we're gonna figure out who our new captain is, I guess. So.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Sounds good.
Okay, and you said you needed more food. Why? And she just kind of goes straight back to work. She doesn't get distracted very easily.
Throwing herself into stuff right now. Walks over to the records desk.
You approach this dwarf. Hello. What can I get for you?
I'm trying to see if someone is alive or dead, and if they're dead, find the closest family member.
All right. What's the name then?
Nico Dwerryhouse.
Nico Dwerry. Hey, you see, she like pulls up this big, huge, thick book, slaps it down on the table, and starts going through it. Nico. Okay. We do have a Dwerryhouse family. No records of a Nico though. Don't say anything that resembles that. I'm sorry. But we do have the Dwerryhouse family. They stay over on the eastern side, it looks like. Most of them are over there. There's a lot of them, though.
You said eastern side?
Yeah, right. I've got about 123 Dwerryhouses. Quite a big family. They've been around for, well, since the beginning, it looks like. So, I'm not exactly sure how to tell you which one's the closest, next of kin without having their name in the book. But
Who's the oldest, does it say?
the oldest. Let me check real quick. Ooh, we do have someone who is around. Looks like it'd be Sybil.
Sybil?
Sybil Dwaryhouse.
Right. Looks to be
Perfect.
one of the matriarchs of the family.
Okay.
And do you have a more specific location than eastern side of them?
Well, if you're looking for Sybil in particular, she'll give you an address. I don't know how addresses work in Astra because me as a DM haven't thought about that. She'll give you an address.
Now I have
Thank
a
you.
question that is perhaps a little morbid. When with these records, when someone passes, does it give any detail as to roughly how or why?
Not really. Just in order to keep the information down as low as possible and keep space to a minimum, so that we don't have to search through 14 paragraphs of a person's life before we get to the next one. You know, that kind of thing. It's really just dates.
Exactly where would we inquiry if there was someone we were curious as to specifics?
Oh, probably family members that have to do with that particular family. They probably have the information you need. Or if it was one of those, and she looks, because I'm going to be honest, crime and stuff like murder and stuff like that doesn't happen very often. Yours happened recently enough that it's still kind of fairly fresh in a lot of people's minds. You're a memorable figure here for certain people in Astra. She would look up, or if it's something more related to the case of, you probably want to speak to the city guard.
Well, thank you much. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. Right, is there anything else I can get for you?
If I give you an image of someone, can you find them?
Yep, an image? Well, there's no pictures in the book, so I'm not sure I can help with that. I'm sorry.
Picture of somebody? Are you looking for someone?
Yeah, and I'll create the illusion of Min as the elf that I don't know.
Give me an Arcana check.
It's gonna be different every time.
17.
17. Okay. It is the same elf. Oh, that's easy. That's Organa.
Who?
Organa.
Organa.
Right.
Who is Organa?
You would, as soon as they say the name, I think you would know who Organa is. She's a member of the lower council. Duly elected a couple of years ago.
Is she here in this building? Can I go talk to her?
Well, she should be, but you'll have to stand in line for that one, I'm afraid.
But I'm an honored member of the Guardians. I don't need to stay in line. Do I really need to?
Most of the guardians are like most people at least try to become guardians. That's not really a
Unfortunately, Guardians don't get any special privileges here in the government building, but it'll only take a little while.
This town is bullshit. And is he still being held by Zen? Zen, are you still holding me?
Oh, absolutely.
Can't have you sneaking away.
So this whole conversation happens while your arms and legs are dangling in handbag
Yeah,
mode.
I just picture him right here, and he's just talking, and his legs just over there just wiggling.
He's just now trying to squirm out, but can't because he's weak.
Okay, well, I guess that's what we needed. Are we just going to head on over there, Raylith?
Do you know where I could find schematics of buildings?
Schematics of buildings.
Interesting.
Curious.
I think he means blueprints, not really schematics.
shut your mouth.
Hey,
And I just
my
bonk him.
mama couldn't do it, and you won't be able to do it.
Oh, did you eat? Because your mouth's sometimes shut when you eat.
I don't know that they would keep blueprints because there's the way that I'm thinking about it. A lot of buildings were kind of messed up and stuff during the initial part of the veilbreak incident, where everybody kind of flooded the city and stuff like that, and some of the horrors and stuff were before the protections and the glyphs and stuff were kind of set up. A lot of stuff was kind of damaged, and a lot of stuff was kind of hastily rebuilt to provide shelter and stuff for the people here in the city. And I don't know that that would have been recorded in most cases. Not to mention, most people just walk into a building if they want to know what it looks like or something like that. Most engineers are kind of working off the same techniques and stuff like that. I don't think there would be different things for different things. So I don't know if there would be blueprints. And I think she would probably mention that. She'd be like, I don't really know if we have blueprints for buildings around here. Never really thought about that. What do you need blueprints for, anyway?
Just to see how things used to look, see structures, how they used to.
Oh, well, if you head to the library, there's books and stuff that talk about Astra beforehand. It was a very well-known place. There's a couple old, some of the travel brochures, I saw that people used to carry around. You can find those if you look. Alternatively, you could go talk to the engineers over in the Artisan district, the guys who build the buildings and stuff. They'll probably be able to tell you how they did it.
What's the district's name?
The Artisan district. This is where the
Artisan?
blacksmiths,
Okay.
leather workers, tailors, all the people who like kind of make things for the city. They're all kind of grouped up in one section of the city and stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. Enjoy your day.
Of course.
Yeah, so who's doing what?
Okay, so why are we checking into buildings? Do you think that like one of the buildings might be holding the world stone?
Oh, we're just checking some things out.
Okay.
But
That's a
what are
weird
you
one.
checking out?
Yeah, what are you checking out?
So it's like this, and I raise my hand to stretch, and I drop them in the process.
Free bitches!
That's your headache. I'm just letting you know that now.
Aggie.
I had enough of him last night.
Aggie scrambles off in the government building. This can't end well.
I'm gonna go
Oh,
grab
no.
Aggie. He
It's all
cannot be
part of-
allowed to be free.
Just while he's distracting everyone else,
No socks for Aggie.
I could do a little bit of recon mission.
Recon mission. Okay, Zen, what are you doing?
I'm gonna see if I could get into maybe some areas of the government building that is like restricted. See if I could stuff my way. See if I can like really think like where would a tunnel be? Like where would they build over a tunnel? Because there has to be some type of entrance still. So
Give me a history check, would you?
sure thing. God damn it. 14.
14. I still think 14 would be enough. So here's the thing. The government of Astra, the way it's set up, is that it has a high council, consists of 3 members, right? Those 3 members are lifetime appointments. So once you are appointed to the high council, you serve that position until you perish or until you like forcefully retired, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Meanwhile, the lower council consists of 7 people that are elected every 5 years, and they have the kind of 2-term limit where you can't serve more than 2 terms in total, that kind of thing, right? The government of Astra is very well. Trying to think of what the term would be. They're very open. Like, there are lines of people here to meet, the council members. They're here to have one-on-one meetings and discuss different things with their representatives. And there's not really restricted areas in the government building. The only places that would be restricted are probably their offices. And that's a single guard posted at the door, mainly to control the flow of traffic and make sure that only one person goes in at a time in order to make sure that person receives the respect they're due. That's about it. Otherwise, I mean, it's a lot of offices where like requests and stuff are divvied out. If you go like on the left-hand side, they're kind of sent to various places so that they can be taken to the Artisan Corps. Where certain people are kind of going over excuse me, we're kind of going over and approving or not approving these requests based on whatever rules and stuff are in effect. The people on the right side of the building and stuff are kind of where the offices and stuff are, and then at the top of this kind of double staircase and stuff that leads up, more offices where like the engineers and stuff are kind of planned out for the different days on what they're going to be doing for that day. Hello, Constance. Or the High Council's office and stuff where they're having meetings, again, with members of their constituency or, making laws or planning out what's happening the next few days with rations or stuff like that. Again, fairly open. There's not really any, like, guarded off areas or anything like that. It's just not really a thing here.
All right, then I will probably wait until tomorrow, and I'll just take Aggie with me, and we'll go to the Artisan District.
Okay.
So I'll try to meet up with Rayliff to see what she's trying to do next.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mimi is scrambling after Aggie, who is scrambling for freedom. I guess. So
Yeah,
what's happening here? Oh, so you're running out of the government building? Technically,
Yeah,
you're in technically, I think from Aggie's perspective, you're in the enemy base right now. So
yeah, trying to get out, scrambling away.
Okay. You two give me a description. What does that look like?
It's gonna look like a little thing from Scooby and Shaggy. Going through people. You have me going one way, him coming this way, peeking around, trying to get an eye on this tiny man amongst all of these people.
He's just weaving in and out of people, trying to get as much distance between him and Mimi.
Ducking between
All I can
legs
imagine is the Scooby-Doo hallway scene.
That's exactly
Where
what I was going for.
Mimi is chasing Aggie 1 second, and then Aggie's like sneakily chasing Mimi when Mimi loses him under someone's legs. Like, it's just
Yeah, I can see it. Both of you give me contested dexterity checks.
$17.
Is that with the +2 to it?
Yeah. So D20 and the +2.
13.
13. Yeah, Aggie's gone. This is his element. He is poof. And you do see him, like you see the door, you see his silhouette, rather, from the light coming in through the building, and then he's just gone, disappears.
Well, I just trot on back to Raylith and Zen.
Okay. Meanwhile, what are you guys gonna do?
So, what's your lead, Relive?
Okay, so this is gonna sound stupid, but I couldn't trust the information that was given necessarily without double checking. So like,
Mm.
the days that we were here, that we weren't here, where we were still in the rift. I wanted to verify that what we were being fed in there is real out here. Which so far it seems accurate. Kind of. There's like minor changes, but mostly the same. So
That's a problem. So, I was looking for blueprints because in one of Aggie's, I guess, realities, he saw a tunnel and there were some weird chants going on.
that's the thing. I don't believe all of the stuff we went through, all the possible different things. There's so many different futures that we experienced. Like, some of it can't have happened. Some of it could if we follow the right stuff.
And
So, or the wrong stuff, I guess, in the case of us having to, kaboom the place. I was kind of thinking they were like parallel worlds while we were in there, because that's what rifts are. They're like different worlds with real people. But if we were just seeing possible futures and stuff from here, I don't know what's real right now, and I just need to be grounded in reality for a little bit.
well, he has this whole thing, and I'm just trying to prove him wrong. So I'd rather look through this to prove him wrong so he can finally shut up about this.
So you're thinking there's a possibility there's actually some kind of tunnel that he saw here?
Yeah, if not here, then where else? And he seems very passionate, and he gets passionate when it comes to this type of stuff, but this was different. And I kind of believe him that he saw what he saw, but I also just want him to shut up and prove him wrong,
Mm-hmm.
that he just doesn't know anything and not everything is this big bad government conspiracy. So
Well, okay. So either way, we should try to find the tunnel that you're talking about, because either A, it proves Aggie right, or B, it proves him wrong and you can help. Also, if there is a tunnel but it's not used for the same thing, question for the DM actually, with that thought line. The cataclysmic event that like triggered the whole like most people like dying and stuff, like all that stuff, what exactly happened? Would like people have believed at any point that maybe going underground would save them from this?
I mean, yeah, the entire city of Umlan exists. Like, there's an entire city in the northern mountains and stuff that literally exists because of that particular sentiment. The thing is, like, it very well could be a thing. A lot of people did try to run towards like easily defendable points and stuff like that. So like, yeah, that is very much a thing. Like, people did try to go underground and stuff like that. Did they survive? Well, I mean, Astra and Umlaut and Co City exist, and then as far as you guys know, nothing beyond that. So
Okay, so it's not a far stretch to say there might be one, but for different purposes.
yeah, no. With the information you have, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some kind of tunnel, but maybe as like an escape or like protective, like almost bunker necessarily for things from the past when like everything went down.
that could be the case as
So
well.
this conspiracy part could just be wrong. but there
But
could be a tunnel. But
it's only
again,
one way to
that's a
find out, though.
true.
And I wanted to go to the artisan district. Well, I wanted to go tomorrow, but if you don't have any leads or where you would want to go, then maybe we could just go like right now. I could just call him. I know he'll.
Oh,
I have a way to get him back here. But
oh, well, I mean, I kind of do have something I'm trying to follow at the moment because we got the name of a possible person who's connected to the person who wrote the stuff about the divinity seed and gods.
okay, so yours is real. His is a possibility. So I guess we could continue to look into this, and
I
then
just
I'll
also
just
don't
do
know how
my
much
best.
time we have left today because we still have to. So we've done a lot today. So getting there and then getting back in time to meet our captain's probably important.
Well, I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Okay.
S- So I
Um,
could sprint down there.
well, I mean, I'm kind of wanting to go myself to ask the questions I have. So, I mean, I think normal speed, but getting there, important. How long do you think it's going to take her to catch him?
She's never gonna catch him, honestly.
Oh, great. Okay. How
So,
long before she gives up and comes back?
as long as she doesn't rage from frustration of not being able to catch him, she should be heading in this direction to look for you or us.
Am I there yet?
We'll just keep
Very well timed
walking.
entrance. Yeah, you've been cued in, so to speak.
Hi guys. He's gone. I wasn't fussing with it no more.
That was
He's
one of my
Anyways,
gone
classmates.
as if he left or you lost him.
oh no, I just saw the door open. He's gone.
Okay, not a problem.
Okay, well, what are we doing? What time is it?
Oh.
When do we have to get back?
I think they said 5 to meet the new captain. So we need to be back by then. They did say 5, right? That's what I had in my notes from the other day, but I think that might have also been from one of the previous things.
It is that afternoon.
Because Raylith will 100% need to be on time for that. So she will drop whatever lead she's following to be on time for that if it's getting close to time.
Yeah, I don't think Torch gave you a specific time, because she's also not sure exactly when you'll be assigned, because things are a little bit different, and then some captains will get the assignment and want to meet you immediately. Other captains will kind of not do that, but the idea is you need to be hanging out at the Guardian course sometime in the afternoon, to be available to see what happens, that kind of thing. That's the general vibe.
Okay, well, from that vibe, does she have time to go talk to this?
You have, we'll say if you guys woke up at 7, breakfast and stuff was at 8 while you were moving to the library. A lot of that probably took about
Right, let's
2
go.
hours.
Raylith needs.
Yeah, probably about 2 hours in training and doing the research at the library, which would put it 9 o'clock. Travel time and stuff probably took another 2 hours moving from place to place, another hour. So it's probably right at noon, 1 o'clock ish, somewhere in that window here.
And you said it took 2 hours to get here?
Travel time from place to place. So this is you going from the Guardian Corps to the library to the government building to, see what I'm saying? It is a cumulative
But is Eastern
travel
farther
time.
out?
It is, yeah. Eastern side of the
Okay.
city would be past the government building and stuff, whereas the Guardian complex is on the northwestern corner of the city. So you'd be going the opposite direction of the Guardian complex.
I think
So,
both of the things we need to do are going to have to wait, though.
oh, the artisan is on the
And
other side. Oh, I guess
yeah,
we'll.
know that we have time to get back in time if we don't.
Well, let's not do what Aggie did and piss off the new captain. So let's just take a break. We'll deal with this, and then we'll circle back.
All right, well, I'm gonna head back and get something to eat. I haven't eaten. I went straight into try to prove this is real mode, so
Oh,
Well,
whatever you do, don't order a lot. You will be judged.
fuck
I
that
don't-
stupid bitch.
I don't normally eat that much. Okay.
But
Pretty
anyways,
tall.
yeah, lunch. Lunch sounds about good right now.
So you all head back to the Guardian Complex. Except for Aggie. What is Aggie doing? All this is going on.
There aren't sewers in Astra, are there?
No, there are sewers.
Aggie will probably go to the artisan district because he kind of forgot that Zen was trying to go to the artisan district, but so he's like, you know what? My plan was to go to the artisan district. I don't remember why, but I'm gonna go there. And he wants to ask around about people painting red hands on doors.
People painting red hands on.
Because in the vision you gave me,
Yeah, yeah.
the door that was in the sewer had a red hand on it, red handprint.
I remember. Give me an. Guess it would be investigation check.
No.
Talking to people, trying to like peek out information and stuff. I think that's the best check. You probably want to use charisma somehow, don't you?
I want to re-roll this.
You and your checks.
Now,
They are just flip-flopping.
Yeah. Aggie's a
I
very
think about,
special person.
I think Aggie's thinking about it, and it's just like, I'm hungry. Where can I get food? And I think he kind of wanders back to the cafeteria. I rolled a 3 on my investigation check.
Okay, yeah, so you definitely get distracted halfway through talking to the first person.
Yeah.
And you, hey, have you heard anything about the handprint? Hey, do you know where I can get food? Like, that's,
Yeah.
yep. Okay. So you all end up heading back towards the Guardian Complex. You did specifically say you guys are heading to the cafeteria too, right? Because Relith is hungry. And Mimi also wants lunch. Okay, so yeah, you would all kind of meet in the cafeteria right around the same time. Aggie, you would be there a little bit before, I think. Bunch of people hanging out, getting lunch and stuff for the day. A lot of very sweaty people. Morning training and stuff has been going on. You guys don't have a captain at the moment, so you didn't have to go through like morning muster and all that stuff. You didn't have anybody to tell you to do that. But these guys, the other guys who were training, they woke up, they had morning muster, they had PT, they had training, they had all that stuff. And these guys they're doing rough at the moment. If you've ever seen like the locker room after a very intense football training session, and then add food into it. That's basically what the cafeteria looks like right now. And smells like right now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's what went through my head was the smell. I was like,
Yeah. That's probably the vibe you get walking into the cafeteria.
Raylis gets straight in line for food. Her hunger is hitting her now.
Okay. The menu here has been changed to various types of sandwiches, and fried potato crisps.
Yummy.
Pretty much the only thing on the menu for today, anyway.
Okay.
Is Torch anywhere around?
No, I don't think she would be.
Fuck.
Is that same lady still the lunch lady?
Yep, blue tiefling. Still hanging out.
I'm just gonna look at her. I'll have 3 sandwiches and the fried potato crisps.
Oh, are you sure you don't want 4?
I'd hate to take away your 1 serving of the day.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, it's too much carbs anyway. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you an extra helping of crisps. How about that?
I can tell you don't eat carbs.
Thank you. Thank you. I do think about how I look a lot. I'll get your
Sweet
food
pea,
out
you look
soon.
like a walking skeleton, but sure.
I'll get your food out soon. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's not that hard to find you.
You're right. The most beautiful thing walking around, that is me. I'm so glad you noticed.
Yeah, definitely the biggest target. You have fun.
Mm.
Raylith, I guess, who will have been close in line during this. A weird question for you. Have you seen Support Sergeant Torch in here today getting any food?
Oh, Torch? No, I haven't seen her today.
We have a meeting with them later. Do you mind if I get 1 sandwich for me and just a few potato crisps, something for her? I'm kind of worried she's not eating since father.
Yeah. I mean, she was in here this morning. It was really early this morning,
She
but
was?
she was in here, yeah. So I'm sure she's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, as long as she's eating. Then just 1, please.
Okay, we'll have it out to you shortly.
Okay, and she flies over and parks her
That's
ass
stupid
behind me.
bitch.
So why was she saying you're the easiest to spot? Is it because of the giant axe? You do
Because
carry
she's a
around
fucking toothpick, that's why.
Raylith looks at her tiny ass form. If she's a toothpick, what am I?
Small.
Wood splinter.
But you can get big. You're real tough. You eat your meals. That thing
Well-
over there needs someone to hold her down and force feed her. Sin!
So then what are you ordering? after hearing that.
Half a sandwich, please.
Oh, you sure you don't want more as well? Need to bulk up a little bit.
You give me
Speaking
what's
of
the
the
big I deserve.
Okay, well, I mean, if you don't want big, strong muscles, then well, you can have half a
No.
sandwich.
I want big, strong muscles. How many sandwiches is for big, strong muscles?
You need a lot of protein, so we'll go ahead and cut the bread out. Just give you the meat.
Yes.
All
I love
right.
the meat.
All right, we'll have that out shortly. Thank you. Please move along.
Okay.
Aggie has just like a pile of sandwiches on the plate.
Now I gotta know, what did she say to Aggie and his pile of sandwiches ordered?
Nothing.
He didn't order them, he stole them. 1 from each
Uh.
person who ordered more than 1 somewhere. He's been sneaking around.
Yeah,
Just,
she doesn't say anything. Just
that's
He
so
probably just goes 5 sandwiches, and she tries to say something. He goes, completely oblivious.
so you all finish up your food. Again, the vibe in here is very much like post workout. Everybody's pretty exhausted. You hear a lot of groans and shifting, and every once in a while somebody will stand up and stretch with like a loud kind of not really a yell, but like one of those loud moans of someone kind of dealing with exhaustion and then sitting back down. There's not a lot of chatter and stuff going on in here. Just a lot of clanking of plates and cups and stuff like that.
Zin, I have a plan. All right.
Uh-huh.
Let's go into the sewers and find this door. But we need torches. So let's go back to the room and we can rip up our bed sheets and break the chair legs and use those as torches.
Why in the hell are you going into sewers?
Find this door to prove that there are tunnels underneath the city. They're called the sewers.
And
It
why are
could-
you finding
Dang
it
it, most
for?
Somebody-
places?
Somebody speaks up from the table next to you because again, I kind of said nobody's really talking, and this is quite open here. The one goes, of course there's sewers in the city. Or are you
It's
deaf?
shitty.
Huh?
There's cows outside. Of course there's cows outside. It's a cow farm.
Every big city had sewers back in the day. It's kind of a whole thing. Empties out into the ocean.
How do you know this? Were you living back then?
Well, not me, but like you can kind of just go down there. It's a thing.
Yeah. I've never been down there. What's down there? Have you ever been down there?
Well, here's the thing, okay? It's very dirty. There's a lot of there's a lot of poop water. All right, booty juice, you can call it.
Who calls
Do
it
you
booty
not
juice?
do you not know what a sewer is, little man?
Yeah, tunnels underneath the city.
Okay, it's where all the pipes and stuff from all the outhouses and stuff go down and leak out into. It's kind of a whole thing. Like when you poop in the hole, you know what I'm talking about? It goes into the sewer.
Yeah, then where does it go after that?
Out into the ocean.
That's where we get our water.
Yep.
Don't. Just do not.
Takes
Hey,
his glass and
eat
just
another
kind of
sandwich?
pushes it away. Ew.
If that grosses you out and you want to hear something fun, think about all the fish poop that's out there.
Fish poop?
No fish
Right, the
sticks.
ocean's a great big poop soup.
Fish sticks.
Appreciate it
sticks,
so
yes.
much. And she's just gonna walk away with her sandwich to the room. She's no longer eating in here.
Hey, Raylith, where are you going?
Away from the poop soup conversation. Bye.
The guy,
Can't.
the guy and a couple of his friends like laugh as if they've all made a really funny joke, and yeah, Raylith leaves.
I'll follow her.
Okay. Are you heading back to
Drinking
the
poop water.
room, Raylith? Barracks.
Yeah, she's gonna sit on her bed or sit at the. I guess there was a table you said in the middle of the room.
There it is.
She's gonna sit there and eat her food away from the sweaty, smelly, gross people talking about poop while she's trying to eat. Yes.
You head back to the room. Mimi's following. Zen and Aggie, what are you guys doing?
I'm putting loads of meat in my mouth.
Okay, well,
Aggie eats like 3
Congratulations.
sandwiches and then starts putting sandwiches in his pockets for later.
yeah, that also tracks. Yeah.
All right, we should go back to the barracks.
Yeah, so we break the chairs, make torches, go to the sewers.
We don't need torches. I can see in the dark.
Oh, you called?
Yeah.
Right around that time, you guys are walking back towards the barracks, and you run into Torch in the hallway, with a stack of papers, a little clipboard, and a woman. The woman stands probably about 6 feet tall or so, human with hair kind of braided. It goes kind of about halfway down her back, very dark. She has what looks like great sword kind of strapped over her back, very well muscled but lean at the same time, wearing what appears to be like a breastplate and a kind of armor and stuff like that. And Torch kind of welcome. Well, I was gonna wait to introduce you, I guess, but say hello to our new captain, Sarah.
Captain Sarah?
Yep.
All right, DM. Are we talking SERA? Are we talking SARA? Are we talking SARAH?
SARAH.
Okay.
And she caught all of us at the same time, or just them at the tail end?
Just them kind of moving through the hallways. You guys are back in the room.
Oh, I guess you're supposed to salute. I don't know. Bow.
Bow? Why would I bow?
She will. Oh, don't worry. You're not on the clock yet, so to speak. And it's a voice you recognize.
I love how both of y'all fucking looked up at the same time.
Of course, it's fucking men.
Permission to throw something at the DM. I can walk over there real quick.
Permission denied?
I wasn't asking
Granted.
you.
I feel like I should
Permission
deny that.
granted.
So you're a new captain. How long have you been with the Guardians?
A couple of years or so. Not too long, but long enough to get some experience under my belt. Not as long as your previous captain, but enough, I think.
I never saw you around before.
Oh, I'm here. I've always been here. Most of the time I'm out doing some training or patrolling the walls, something along those lines.
Wow. Okay. Okay. How often do you train? Like 104 times, or?
Much more than that. 365 days in a year. I only take Saturdays off.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, Captain, we have to go. But Torch, is there any way we could obtain a torch or some form of item that emits light?
Yeah, I can do that. That's pretty easy. Do you want just a regular torch or like an ever-burning torch? They're pretty common around here.
Everburning would be nice.
Not a problem.
2, please. But thank you.
Yep.
We're gonna
I'll have
head
'em
back now.
Tomorrow, we kind of have to requisition them and then get them in the morning so that they can prepare them. But yeah, I can have it out in the morning.
You're the best. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Captain.
Yep. Bye, Captain.
Torch.
Oh,
Just-
don't worry. We're following you. We'll meet you at the barracks in just a second.
Zin,
Of course.
Captain Sarah sounds very familiar.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. Why does she sound so familiar?
I don't know. It's just something about men. Just give me a men.
You're trying to come
You
up
just
with
want men?
every pun
What?
you can, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's already made like 3 or 4 already this episode.
Came out the gate swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. They do follow you back to the barracks. You would see Aggie and Zin enter, and then Torch and this other woman who I've already described. Not necessarily muscle mommy, much more like swimmer athletic build, but wielding a great sword and stuff on her back.
I
So
see the
when-
great sword, and I'm in love. I'm in love
When
with our new captain.
I walk in, I'm gonna look at Rayleigh, hoping that she noticed me, and I'm gonna just mouth, "That's men."
The
She puts
blinking.
down her sandwich slowly.
Torch walks in the door. Officer on deck.
Straight to attention.
Either way.
Yes, captain.
Zin, Raylith. I think Rayla said you're at attention. Zin, are you at attention?
Yes.
Aggie. No.
No, Aggie just kind of wanders over his bed and hops onto it.
Well, welcome to Squad 7. I'm very pleased to meet you all. I understand we had a bit of a problem with your last captain. Hopefully that won't happen again. But it might. We'll see. Who knows?
number
The
one.
Guardian Corps is a very, very dangerous business to be in. So,
Is her voice Min's voice now that like she's actually in the room? Is it still Min's voice?
Yep.
Okay.
But I am very pleased to be taking over your assignment as captain starting tomorrow. We'll be on assignments together, and I already have several ideas and plans to make sure that your training is up to snuff, speak. But I did want to come by and let you know that I'm around, and should you need me, you can call on me, of course, and make sure that you all understand that from now on, I am the one who will be giving your orders, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to.
Within the first 30 seconds, you just watch as Mimi's face falls once she recognizes that it's Min's voice. I am distraught. I loved this woman, and it's ruined for me.
I don't know. You seemed pretty eager to bend over backwards for her before.
I don't think she was bending over
Options,
backwards.
man.
What?
She caught it, even if you didn't. That's fine. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyway.
That was A1.
Saucy.
So,
I don't know what was
Captain,
said.
you just saying that we could just say your name and you'll appear? You'll be there?
Well, I would probably recommend you come to the office, but yes. If I'm around and I hear you, I'll answer.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you all first thing in the morning. Morning muster is at 7:30, so be there and be prepared. Breakfast at 8, and then we're off on patrol.
Oh,
Patrol.
patrol where?
Nice.
Surprise, surprise. You'll find out.
Ah.
You all have the very conspicuously convenient nature of having already been in a portal, so we're going to skip some of the unnecessary steps and take you right to the action.
Yes, Captain.
Don't look so sad, Mimi.
That's alright. Just give her a
Work
minute.
isn't that bad, I promise.
It's not the work. I'm fine with that.
I'm sure. I'll see you all in the morning. Until then, your evening is free. Enjoy it how you wish. Torch, may I speak with you outside? Torch goes, yeah. Kind of follows Sarah outside.
Was the door shut?
Shit, that was Min.
You said the door is shut?
Yep.
Rayla's listening in this time.
Mm-hmm. Put your ear to the door.
She wouldn't disrespect freaking Arthur, but good God, is she'd have no respect for this woman.
Okay, give me a perception check. As you fly across the room and stick your ear to the door, trying to hear what's on the other side.
22.
22. Okay. You would hear Sarah / Min on the other side. I'm going to need some supplies for tomorrow's job. A couple of rift disruption devices, extra. We do plan on teaching our little crew how to use. Make sure that they are supplied with health potions if they need them, if they have already used the ones that they had. and make sure start the process at least of speaking to Boreal. Let's see if we can get them some better gear somehow. I know that it'll be a little bit before we can do that, but if we can expedite the situation and make sure that when the time comes, once they rank up there, get those weapons immediately. Torches. Yeah, okay. I can do all that. Anything else? And she's like, no, but make sure they're ready in the morning. It's going to be a very exhausting day, I think. And then you would hear them kind of move on down
With
the
the
hallway.
exhausting day, she would scoot away from the door just in case someone comes back in.
Yep.
What they say, you little troublemaker.
Not a little troublemaker, thank you.
You're the one who listened in, so.
Yeah, that's some sneaky shit.
I
Mm,
don't want to hear that
from
from you,
you?
Maggie. You're
What?
the
What'd I
worst
do?
troublemaker. You're the biggest one.
Me? I've never done anything wrong in my life.
You just get
So is
dead
anyone else concerned what's happening here with her taking place of a bunch of other people?
Before that, what did you hear? That's what I want to know.
Basic stuff. It wasn't anything aside from apparently we need to make sure we're well rested because it's going to be an exhausting day tomorrow. They're getting a couple extra rift disruption devices, health potions, and talking about getting us better gear.
Well, she
me,
did.
me be like, oh, well, hold on, wait, better gear. Hold on, I'm in.
She did say that she would be trying to help us improve, get more powerful, and that involves doing things that she needs us to do. So this kind of makes sense, especially in a position that she could kind of make it happen.
I mean, I guess it shouldn't have been out of realm of possibility that this could happen, but
Unexpected.
don't like I don't like it at all. She can easily infiltrate any group of people that she wants, and she said she's been here for 6 years.
Yeah, you
She
didn't
said she's
gather
been
that
here for a
already?
while. No, I'm saying, like, what is happening to these actual people, or is she literally just planning this far ahead?
Hadn't she been
Like,
alive for like a really long time? It's
she
I'm
has
sure.
been alive for a long time, but I'm saying
Imagine.
if she can be a nurse who's qualified to be here, if she can be a captain who's fooling everyone else,
Look, that's
if
when you ask, have you ever seen those two people in the same room at the same time? If
I'm
they
wondering if there's a
have,
real person that she is
then there
doing
could
something
be.
to.
If they haven't, then it could just mean that she's playing the part of these people.
That's the thing. I want to know if these people are real at all, and if she's done something to them, or if she is literally just them and taking all these places.
Raylith, you're so pessimistic. Ask a simple question. Just figure out if they've ever been seen in the same room at the same time. If they have, perhaps there is a real person. And then, confront men about it. I don't know. You're real worried about the semantics here. I mean, I
Should
get
you not
it.
be? If at any point in time you go missing and she's you,
What am I going to do about it except die? I truly do not know what you want from me. What am I going to do about these people if something did happen to them? Ain't much I can do
You
about it
know,
now.
we could just go back to records and see if how long Captain Sarah's been here.
she told us 6 years.
Yeah,
She
And
told us
mental
that.
she's been
technically
here for
torch, but
6
also
years.
verify.
But how long has Min always been, or has Sarah always been in the city? Or is there a record of her in the records?
Why do I feel like we're going to be reading so much for her?
Say it again.
We're going to be reading so much
We're also adventuring tomorrow, so maybe we'll get some cool, fun stuff then.
Maybe.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least. All right, cool. Fun talk. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it right now?
It's like
Like-
2 in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
I was gonna say like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
You're right. We could do that one thing you were talking about with Sybil. Sybil.
That'll be at least 2 hours. We should have enough time to do.
I mean, we're free now. We done did the meeting.
All right. Well, do that. She munches.
Huh?
She's finishing her sandwich. As she's
Oh.
walking out. As I flying up.
Okay.
So I'm grab Aggie, and we're gonna go to the artisan district.
Ah!
Okay.
But this
I
time
just
I'm gonna
put it
put
again.
him on my shoulders.
Potato
I am the
sack
tallest
style,
person in our
or
group.
like piggyback style, like riding on your I don't know what the name for that is.
Well, we could
Horse
just say
cavalry
piggyback
charge
style.
Okay. So once again, splitting the party. You two are heading towards Sybil. You two are heading towards the artisan district. Okay.
I thought y'all were waiting for tomorrow for the torches. Or you just
No, we're going to the artisan district. We're not going in the sewers. Because I can see it at dark, but I can't afford Aggie to start running.
And I cannot see in the dark.
Also, hello, Constance.
she's been here though.
House.
Basically.
She is
Constantly
Sam
constant.
Reich. Okay. Let's start with Raylith and Mimi. You guys head towards the eastern side of the city, towards the address that was given. You knock on the door, and you would see a young halfling answer the door. Blonde hair, very curly. Kind of like looks up at you. Hey. Who are you? What can we do for you, I guess?
We're looking for a Sybil by chance. Sybil.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Grandma?
Turns around. Grandma! You see an older halfling, kind of long brown hair, kind of done up in a braid. The braid itself is also like wrapped around itself several times, and you can tell like the hair is probably longer than she is tall. Very, very wrinkly skin. Kind of walks up. Hey, what can we do for you?
Are you related to, or did you know a Nico who wrote some books?
Nico. Yeah, it was my grandfather.
Do you by chance know any of the stuff they were talking about? Maybe some stories they told you growing up?
I mean, yeah, I heard lots of stories, but like, you're gonna need to be more specific. I mean, like, we can sit here for like 5 days while I tell you all the stories I remember, but like,
Really cool stories about a divinity seed or forgotten gods?
oh, you want to talk about his god, huh? What was his name? Kismet. You want to talk about Kismet, right? That thing.
Yeah, stories about Kismet.
Yeah, no. One thing you gotta understand, okay, is that Grandpa was absolutely batshit insane. Yeah.
Oh, don't believe in gods myself. Just thought the stories were interesting and was wondering if there was more there than the journals.
Well, I mean, it wasn't very interesting. He just kept talking about Kismet coming to destroy the world and so on and so forth. It was a whole thing. It was like, if you don't worship Kismet, next thing you know, you're in some kind of like other place where you're suffering for all eternity if you don't do good by the right of the people and so on. It's a whole mess.
Oh.
He's very like what do you say of him? Fervorous? No, that's not the word. fanatical. Yeah, fanatical. It's a fun word to say, that one.
I agree.
Hmm.
It's fun to say a lot of big words. I'm
Do
Mimi, by the
you?
way, to introduce
Oh,
myself.
Oh, welcome. My name's Sybil Dwayhouse. Nice to meet you.
It's
I missed
absolute
that part.
delight.
Sorry. I'm Braylith.
Nice to meet you too, Raylan. Oh, you're cute when you are.
Thank you.
Squish your little cheeks.
Oh, please don't.
I have to use my
Well,
pinky fingers though.
well, Miss Sybil, if it wouldn't be any trouble, because I don't want to keep you standing on your feet, is it okay if we come inside and, I don't know, have some glasses of water or something while we talk?
Well, I mean, we could, but look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just met you. I don't know if I want you coming in the house.
Oh, you don't have to. I was just worried about you having to do all this standing.
Yeah, it is kind of weird when someone walks up to your door and starts asking about your grandfather that's been dead for like a very long time.
Yeah, we were just really interested in his stories and uh wanted more details, and we were curious about if he was still around, and for some reason they didn't have him in the records.
Well, I mean, that's because he died before, all the kind of gestures around, all the stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha,
but
gotcha.
like, here's the thing, right? Don't you think it's a little bit weird? Kind of peeks her head out, starts looking around a little bit. Someone comes up to you and starts questioning you about your family history, and you don't even know how they heard about it.
Well, the books in the library.
You all work for the deep state.
For the what?
Are you
No.
one of them?
No, we were just enjoying a story and wanted to know more about it. Maybe call it a foolhardy little adventure, but that was it.
All right. Well, I think it's probably best you leave.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry
ma'am.
about that, Miss Sybil. You have a great day.
Yeah. Next time, think about it from my perspective, right? You want any information out of me, you're going to need to be a little bit more subtle. Put some more thought
Should I
into it, you
invite you to
brutes.
tea?
Ooh,
Would that
tea.
not be more concerning if we falsely came asking for something that we didn't need?
If
Hold
you
up,
want,
be
Raylan.
luring down the.
look,
I want to
okay.
invite Miss Sybil to tea, like a good person.
I do like tea. I saw the PTSD flash across Courtney's face.
You got any burlap sacks anywhere, ma'am?
Oh yeah, I got plenty of sex.
All right. If you like tea, maybe I'll send you something in the mail, and you can respond that way like a normal person.
What the
I feel
hell is mail? There's no like
messenger.
there's no mail. Okay, messengers. They're probably mail.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You do reach out via official channels instead of walking up to a woman's doorstep and asking about their family history, and maybe we'll see about having a conversation. Although I'm gonna be honest, I pretty much told you everything there is to know anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We'll be on our way then.
Next time, come with a gift. Shuts the door.
You're right.
I don't understand how okay, them everyone thinking deep state. Like all the people who think deep state. Like
Not just the halflings.
if we come in here if we come in here under false pretenses to gather information, is that not
Raylan.
more misleading than just
Raylan.
coming and asking exactly what we're looking for? I don't understand.
You think far too straightforward about all this. Not everybody thinks the same way that you do. Like she said, we should have come with a gift. We should have done it. Even I should have
I would
known.
be
I know
more
my daddy raised
suspicious
me
if
right.
someone showed up
Look
to
at
my
me
house
now.
being like, "Oh,
He'd be
here, have
rolling
a
in his
gift."
grave.
In this economy, someone shows up with a gift, I'm wondering what they're expecting me to do for them.
She's an old woman. She just asked me about a deep state.
Even
I don't
worse.
even know what a deep state is.
Maybe you haven't had a long enough conversation with Aggie. Why don't you and him have a sit down and talk over a fountain or something? You can have him late at
Why
night,
does
and
it
I'll
gotta be a
just
fountain? Why do I gotta have him late at night? What did you do?
I just wanted
What have you been doing
food.
behind the doors with Aggie?
I just wanted food. We went to the cafeteria. I thought we were gonna have a nice chat because you went to sleep on me, and suddenly you want to be buddy buddy. Ah,
Excuse me for being exhausted, not overthinking things, and just thinking, sweet, blissful unconsciousness.
excuse you indeed. She's gonna go to fly off heading back home, I guess, since we're not getting anything from them.
It just flies off and leaves Mimi.
I'm walking.
Meanwhile,
Later, nerd.
Zen and Aggie, you guys head towards the Artisan District. The Artisan District is an interesting place within the context of the city of Astra. You see what appear to be like 5 or 6 blacksmith areas, anvils and bellows and like quenching troughs and stuff like that, all kind of in a like large circle. With like piles of metal ingots and stuff, with like city guard kind of moving stuff back and forth, providing like the menial labor part of blacksmithing and stuff, helping them make things like kettles and pots and pans and stuff like different tools and stuff that they would use in the agriculture district, stuff like pickaxes and shovels and various things like that. You see what appears to be like a long warehouse that has like one wall missing. And you see piles of I need materials that they would make clothing out of, cotton, I guess. Because I don't know if they would really have like silk and stuff here, but like piles of like cotton and clothing materials that they kind of have stretched out on several different looms and like threads and stuff running back and forth to each other while they make clothing and stuff for people in various different sizes and shapes. You see like leather workers that are tanning hides and stuff like that, making armor probably specifically for the Guardian Corps, but also making like stuff like knife sharpening strops and various other things that are made out of leather, all this kind of stuff. And it's all kind of gathered in one area because there's a group of people, mostly, I want to say like older children, like 13, 14, not quite like into the 18 and able to like, join the stuff, but not young kids either because of the danger of it, but running back and forth between all the different things, the little stations and stuff, like carrying tools back and forth and kind of helping out and kind of doing that thing. And it's a very busy area, also very noisy, especially from the blacksmith side of just the banging of like metal on the anvils and stuff like that. It's a whole thing going on. Very, very busy. What exactly are you guys doing here? Who are you trying to find? What are you looking for?
This is going to be annoying.
Zen, I got a plan.
Don't do it.
What is it?
It doesn't matter what it is. Don't do it.
Correct.
Just follow up my lead, and we'll go talk to
No.
one of the blacksmiths. All right?
No. Do
Just
not
trust
like
me.
that.
Just trust me. I got this.
Oh my god. I need like some type of insurance policy.
You need
Okay.
all your marbles back.
I won't do anything like brash. Just follow my lead. All right?
I just crack my knuckles. Like try to crack my neck. All right. Go on.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you. Do not
I
use your superpower.
okay. I will go up to the most experienced looking blacksmith.
Most experienced looking blacksmith. What would you say from just a first impression, looking at the different blacksmithing stations, what would you say denotes experience for a
The person
blacksmith?
with the most shit in front of their smithy.
Okay. You approach what appears to be a middle-aged Goliath man. Stands about 8 foot tall, super muscular, kind of grayish blue skin with these kind of tribal tattoos that run all the way from his wrist all the way up his shoulders and then down across part of his chest. Imagine like The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, except even bigger and blue skinned. That's kind of what he looks like. Bald head. Kind of looks down at you. Doesn't say
Hey,
anything.
excuse me, sir. Can I have a moment of your time?
No. Turns around and starts hammering back on the anvil.
Great plan so far.
Sir, we are part of the City Watch, and we need a moment of your time to help us with the investigation.
Huh. He turns around. Really?
Yeah.
Looks over at the actual City Watch moving the stuff back and forth.
We're part of a different investigative unit of the City Watch. We're here investigating that murder that happened a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We're looking for any sort of odd or abnormal order requests.
Trying to think because I have something in mind. Okay. Abnormal.
Yeah. Or like you've been asked to do orders for the city that like someone doing something a little shady.
Follow his lead, he said.
Okay. He'll say something along the lines of, "You're not very good at investigating, are you?" And I need you to give
new
me
grates
I need you to
or
give me a persuasion check. But with disadvantage because you are not you did not come into this with prepared for this. You were not playing this out
Persuasion,
super well. Yep.
Sweet. 9.
9.
Brother, new dice. New dice.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 5.
Okay.
On 2 separate dice.
New dice.
Let's see if
Look,
these dice will do any better.
it's pretty obvious here you're not a member of the city guard. But what I don't understand, what exactly you're looking for, and how these people's requests that I'm working on can be of any value to you. So here's the thing, I'm kind of curious to see where you're going with this. That way I have as much information to give when they come back by asking for the crime that you're very obviously committing, and make sure that you're caught. So here's what I'm gonna do. You see he reaches over kind of off to the side of the anvil and stuff. There's a small table that has this kind of wooden ridge that's kind of built around it, kind of imagine a crate sitting on top of a table, but the crate is kind of built into the table, and he kind of lifts a lid off of it. And inside you see a large stack of papers. I mean, probably at least a foot tall. He takes them and turns around and hands them to you. Here's all the requests we're working on for the day.
Okay.
You see
I'm going to
anything
cast.
abnormal in there?
I'm not going to read through all of that. That seems like a lot. I'm just going to ask you a few more questions. If that's okay with you.
Well, the first thing
Particularly,
I need to answer
I
is
will.
the first question you asked, which is, do you see any abnormal? I haven't looked through them either. I've got a lot of work to do today, and I generally go through tasks one by one. Do you see anything abnormal?
I don't know what your normal workload looks like.
The burden of proof is on the accuser, and it should be you who's finding the proof as the accuser of whoever it is that you're.
And I'm asking about not today, but in the last few days,
investigated.
few weeks.
Okay.
And particularly looking for something like I want to cast minor illusion, and it's going to be like a mechanism for like a hidden door.
What the hell is that?
And as I do that, I'm going to also use I'm going to use beguiling magic, which makes them do a wisdom saving throw. And if they fail, they are charmed.
Wisdom saving. We'll say he has his. See what I roll.
One of two ways.
What's the DC?
15.
Yeah, he rolled a 5.
Sweet. He's charmed. That actually worked. So we're looking for like anything that you could hide things behind or hide other objects or be able to get through passageways quickly and undetected. Like, hidden doors or hidden objects.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I got to make something like that. Instead, he kind of points towards what he's making, and you notice, like, it's a pot.
Huh.
Yep.
Do a lot of your orders do any of your orders ever have to go to like the city and the engineers to go in the sewers?
Into sewers. I mean,
Yeah. Like new
not
covers or new
really.
like grates or something.
Not really. Most of the stuff that's down there is made out of wrought iron. It's gonna last longer than you and me and probably the rest of the city combined, if I'm being honest.
All right. Well, good dwarf, sir. Do you have any questions you want to ask?
Yes, were you around during the reconstruction of the government building?
Do I look that old to you? I'm 30.
So no.
No.
I'm guessing, are any other smithies, were they around during that time?
Nope. Not
Maybe
that
like
I
your
know.
mentor
I
or
mean,
someone's mentor?
I mean, we were taught by, my father and my father's father and my father's father's father and, so on and so forth on how to make pots, but
So you just make pots.
pretty much.
Who here makes doors?
Doors? Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. Have you seen many metal doors sitting around here?
Hinges.
There is a guy that makes hinges. He's right over there. But he makes a lot of hinges. He doesn't make doors.
Do you want to go talk to the guy who makes hinges?
Yeah, it's better than talking to the pottery guy.
All right, let's go.
Now hold on just a second here.
I'll keep
Yeah.
walking.
Now pottery, making pots, and people need these pots. I'm serving an important function to the city. Okay? And first off, blacksmithing and pottery are two entirely different things. One works with metal and one works with clay. You're really showing
feel
your
like-
ignorance of an important position of the city here.
I feel like you can get a very similar thing with just using clay instead of wasting the precious metal that we have on pots.
And clay doesn't last very long, and it's a lot more easily broken by clumsy people. Metal lasts longer.
Yeah, but all you're doing day in, day out is making pots. I feel
Metal-
like, you know,
Metal pots
At
and
a
pans
certain-
can be passed down from generation to generation, whereas a clay pot
At a certain
rarely
point, like,
lasts
you're-
beyond a couple of years.
going to run out of customers because everyone has pots. There's only a finite of people here.
That's the
And
dream.
we're passing shit down from down to down. Like, find something else to make other than pots. Good day.
Tell people to quit needing pots. He goes back to work. So you guys are gonna head over to the hinge guy.
Yeah.
Okay. You see a dwarf. And he's making hinges. He's got kind of bright red hair, short beard, not very long. Kind of doing his thing. Cousin, pleasant to meet you. Hey, what are you doing here?
Ask
Oh,
if he wants to go bowling.
a little of this, a little of that.
Little of this, little of that, as always, as always. Yeah, that is the way I feel, right? Mostly I just do a lot of this. He points to hinges. Yeah.
You're real talented.
Man, well, you know what they say. I make the best hinges in the city, right? To be fair, I'm the only person that makes hinges in the city. But you know, that's beside the point. What are you doing? What brings you over here to look at my hinges? Do you need hinge?
Do you remember any or all your hinges that you ever worked on? Have you
I'm
ever
gonna
had
be
a
honest,
special
no.
order?
I mean, I've had special orders for like the big doors at the library, or like the big doors. You know, sometimes I make slightly bigger hinges than normal, but that's you know, every once in a while kind of thing. I think the last time I did that was well, like 25 years ago, something like that.
You know,
Did you,
you've never had an order for like specialty hinges?
Well, what's special about specialty hinges? I mean, you take
Like-
two pieces of metal, you drive a stick between them, and boom, you have hinge. It's not
Like
really.
special hinges where like you can have it so like whatever is it's attached to, it will be kind of hidden or like flush to a wall or some sort of like special opening mechanism.
No,
have you ever put a hinge on a door that has a hand print?
I've never put a hinge on a door in my life. I make the hinges. I don't attach them to the doors. That's a different thing.
Who who here would be responsible for that?
Carpenters.
Okay. Who's the most elder? You know what? Just cousin. Thank you.
Not a problem. Hey, you want to go bowling later?
Oh,
Me and some of the friends are meeting down at the park.
oh, save size 14. I'll be there.
All right. We don't have special shoes for bowling anymore, but I'll be sure to save you ball.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, keep up the great work, cousin.
Always, always. Best hinges in the city. Starts making another hinge.
You know, Zin, I'm starting to think like Amaya's talked to all these blacksmiths and told them like don't talk about any like the special work because like they don't do shit. I think it's the deep state coming down here and like talking to them.
You just had somebody charmed.
What are you talking about?
I'm not I'm highly intelligent.
Yeah, your point.
I
I
saw
didn't
what
do
you
anything
did.
wrong. I just did that so like he'd be more susceptible to like some questions. That
And
wasn't
yet,
like some nefarious thing. He was a huge dude. He could like pick me up and just throw me into his forge and just I'm out like that.
no.
He could put like a hand on your head and just like you wouldn't be able to hit him because his arms are so long.
Do you not know my reach? Have you
be
not
to,
Yeah,
learned
you got
anything
stubby little
from
dwarf
Tomas?
arms.
to be fair, as a dwarf, he has an extended reach, or as a monk, he specifically has an extended reach with his punches.
Oh, I know.
Like-
I know.
If he would have tried something, he would have got put down. But you need to remember what Tomas taught you.
Yeah,
Go
Brian the
ahead.
Nuts.
Yes. So stop
Yeah,
being scared of tall people.
I'm not.
Nope.
It was just seemed to be a little bit more aggressive. He was getting a little aggressive. And
Sound like
also,
you
I
would.
didn't want to read through all that stuff. Reading's not my thing.
We have to go to the carpenter.
All right.
But
Find
this
out if
time,
anyone's
ask
been.
intelligent questions.
I don't see you jumping in and asking intelligent questions. You were just talking to your cousin Roman about going bowling.
Do you have something that opens and then hitting what? Use your words.
Yeah, that's just the person puppeting me just forgetting how words work.
Anyways, let's go.
All right.
Now,
Head over to the carpenter building, much like the Taylor building. It's like an open front warehouse looking thing, kind of like a really, really large awning. And there's long strips of boards and stuff, and people are working out various things, plywood, stuff like that. There's a lot of sounds of like sawing and cutting and smashing of wood pieces together. It's a whole thing over here. And there's probably like 20, 25 people working on various things across this entire thing.
I want to look for the person who looks the oldest.
Person who looks the oldest. Well, there's an older elf gentleman putting in work. Shirtless, wrinkly, white hair, beard, the whole shebang over here.
Okay, go to approach him. Um, Sir, a moment of your time.
Yeah? Yeah, what can we do for you?
Um, do you particularly have you put hinges on a door with possibly like a handprint on it?
Why would you put a handprint on it? No, I don't think I've done that.
Any hinges with a certain mechanism that to hide things?
What? Why would you want to hide a door? Like it's a door. It's supposed to be meant from going from place to place. If you're going from place to place, why would you want to hide that from people?
Because maybe you want this particular room or area to be hidden.
Nope. Most people aren't going to build a door for something that's hidden. That's foolish.
Have you ever done anything in the lower levels of the government building?
What lower levels? There aren't lower levels in the government building. It's just 2 floors.
That was a test.
Have you or anyone you know ever done work in sewers?
So I'm not going down there. What the fuck?
Do you know anyone who has worked in sewers?
No. Why would you go work in this? That's disgusting.
In case there's like any. Elves, man. Elves.
Look, shit happens.
That's why we have
And
sewers. Yeah.
How many poop jokes are you gonna make this session, please? Just how many?
He made it. I
I'm
just
still triggered from that freaking one campaign. Okay,
Look,
I'm good.
he set up
Right.
I dunked.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah, it's a alley oop. But were you around during the reconstruction of the government building?
What? No. How old do I look to you?
30.
Oh, that makes me feel pretty
He
good.
looks at least like 500, like he's an elf. They live long. Oh, sorry.
I'm 63. What the fuck?
Damn. Life has not been good to you.
Well, fuck you too, buddy.
I am so sorry for my friend here. I dropped him earlier and he just haven't fully recovered. Um he's been through a lot psychologically and
Yeah, he looks
I
like it.
do apologize. Yes, it's really bad. Um
He gave me a
thank you.
noogie for like an hour. You know how much that just scrambles the brain? Gosh.
See, he's just saying random things that just doesn't make sense. Um
Okay,
I do
look,
thank
look,
you.
we got a lot of work to do around here. What are you like? What's you got any more stupid questions?
What's that over there? And I just point and then I just take Aggie and we just run off.
Oh well, that there's a joint. Hey, you little son of a. That's it. It just goes back to working.
All right. So apparently, no one knows anyone who's ever worked in the sewers. No one's ever built anything that is special order. It seems like just basic shit. And no one's been around since the Reconstruction. So, like,
Yeah,
how has no one ever been in the sewers to go work on stuff?
maybe they gotta take it out. Wait,
Think
no, I
like the
cannot
high.
think like this.
That's a good point. You think like the High
Mm,
Council like
no,
has people
no.
go into the sewers and then just like
Man,
does their experiments on them and make sure it's like they, don't tell anyone about the sewers?
well, dead men can't talk
How far does it
unless you
go?
have, huh?
Man, this deep state, it runs deep, man.
It does it. There's nothing going on. There's nothing.
You
Okay.
just said that they're killing people to keep them
I
quiet.
didn't say a single thing
You
such as
just
that.
said that.
I did not.
You said that the workers who go down to the sewers are probably killed to keep quiet because dead
I
men don't talk.
I never said killed. I stated a fact. Dead men. Well, technically, dead people can talk, but not
How?
here.
Have you ever talked to a dead man?
I don't. I'm not. I don't specialize in necromancy.
I don't either. So how are we going to talk to dead men?
So how we know that they don't talk?
That's besides the point. But like,
Are you gaslighting Aggie right now?
I am.
Okay. Well, look, we're coming up on the end of the episode. We're going to assume that once y'all's little adventures are complete, y'all are headed back to the barracks. Is that safe to assume for everybody?
God, I hope so.
For me,
Yeah,
yes.
because then
Okay.
I just say we'll just check out the sewers tomorrow. We'll
Okay,
find a way to check them out.
Because as a DM, I do want to point out something before the episode's ends, and I do want this as an official one. I literally told you can just go down into the sewers, like it's a thing, and you guys, anyway, like
Well, that's when we need the torch. That's why I asked for the torches because he can't see in the dark. Only I can, and I'm not trying to.
we're going to go down there. There's going to be just ever burning torches all over the place.
Or magically lit. This entire
Yeah.
area is super magicy. I wasn't gonna say
But
that because I'm not there, but
but nobody
it's
goes
just food for
down there,
thought.
so we don't know.
okay, but
There's got to be a way it's
But we'll
maintained.
talk about that in a few minutes during the bonus action. But for now, let's assume everybody heads back to the barracks. You guys are gonna catch some sleep and prepare for your big day tomorrow with your new captain. And And that's where we're going to end this particular episode. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. If you enjoyed it, let us know. If you didn't enjoy it, let us know.
Forever hold your peace.
Yep.
Less poop jokes, please.
No, more poop jokes, please.
Yeah,
No poop
this shit
jokes.
was funny.
All the poop jokes.
No.
Corpse
Get out.
soup? Down for corpse soup?
Corpse soup, maybe it could be a thing. But remember, just because the episode's done doesn't mean the show is over. Stick around, hang out for bonus action. We'll chat with chat. It feels weird saying that every time I say it. We'll hang out. We'll answer questions.
We'll do the damn thing.
Talk about the episode. Yeah, we'll do all that. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Until then, we'll see you very shortly. Bye bye. Or see you in a second. Whatever. I suck at outros.
He's
Bye.
bad at this.
Yep. have to actually unmute myself to be able to talk. I did it this time. And we're back. We are back to do bonus action, some chatting and hanging out and various other things because we have finished that episode. So we got to talk about the information. We got to talk about that particular episode and what happened. Not a lot, sensibly. This is one of those episodes that kind of makes me think of kind of like the last episode of certain seasons of anime, where it's like, okay, the climax and stuff has already happened, because like the last episode was so chunky and so full of stuff. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, it reminds me of like the climax has happened and we're doing that stuff, but now we're just setting stuff up for later. That's kind of what this episode reminds me of. What about you fellas? Speaking of, we don't have anybody. We don't have the cameras up right now, but Sammy had to leave, so we do still have Courtney, Mowgli, and Steven. But they're just going to be hanging out on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what did you guys think of the?
It certainly had the.
rabbit hole.
It certainly felt like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, kind of. Like I said, that was the impression I got of it. The climax happened. We already had a bunch of crazy stuff, and we had this is a lot of setup stuff. I did drop a lot of really fun stuff in here to set up for like a couple story beats that I have planned. Stuff like introducing Min as your captain. What did
I
you
hated
guys...
that. I hated that so much. Raylith hates that so much.
I mean, how did you think it was gonna work if she's doing stuff?
Oh no,
for you?
I felt like it was gonna happen. I don't like it. I don't like it. Again, this kind of like cements Raylith's concern. I'm not gonna say fear because like it's more confirmed. It's not like some unreasonable fear. It's like a literal concern that like Min literally has control over everything. We do not get choices. She does not like this in any way, shape.
I mean, she is a divinity, or mostly a divinity.
A demi divinity, basically, you said. But
yeah. So she does have a lot of influence and strength and stuff like that. I'm gonna use it. I mean, if she didn't, right?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, good God, Raylith is uncomfortable. Raylith was like, I need to confirm what I saw. Need to see if that was false or based in truth. She found out it was based in truth, kind of. I think the only thing that really changed in those was the librarian.
Yep.
And also last time Min was there as the like older guy to help Steven help, Zen find information and stuff and kind of answer some questions because he called her. But like most everything else was the same. And I hate it.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
Zen's not a fan.
really?
Yeah, can't stand her. And he's gotta let it be known at every chance.
There could be some interesting dynamic going on there. I kind of look forward to it. What does Aggie think about Min being the captain?
Being our captain.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the boat that like what she's spouting is not necessarily a lie. It is, and like part of the thing with Aggie is he does think there's something else going on that's causing all this shit. And Min's the only one who is,
even somewhat
confirming those and
feeding
has
into that. Yeah.
more knowledge than anyone else about everything. So he's okay with her being her captain. And she's fucking powerful, so if we ever go into a rift, like, she can turn things to goo.
Sure, maybe.
I don't think she'll be helping.
I think she'll do all the work for us.
Maybe.
I think she's pushing her own agenda, so we're just tools in that.
I don't think so. Absolutely not.
We shall see. There's stuff to look forward to that. I also got to do a little bit of foreshadowing with stuff. I got to drop a couple bits of information on things you guys can do. Like continuing the investigation on whether or not this stuff. And it's funny because like on whether or not the stuff that you guys saw could happen or would, whether or not they were alternate, futures and stuff like that. And it's funny because like Raylith, Courtney in particular, is like kind of pushing that story and trying to confirm stuff, but it's going to end up being Zen and Aggie heading into the sewers that confirms other stuff. And it's interesting.
Spoiler.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think Raylith is in the mindset of, well, shit, maybe I do need Aggie for some of this because of like the way he's been talking to people and like just the way his brain works. I feel like if he had been there with fucking name, my brain
Sybil.
just lost Sybil. I keep wanting to say Silas and it's Sybil. But if he would have been there for that, I feel like that would have been entirely different. Like the moment she said deep state, he probably would have went off on a thing.
I mean, Mowgli did. I don't know if you saw his reaction when I did it.
I did see his face, which made me laugh. But like, yeah, no, I feel like it would have been a completely different thing if it hadn't been Mimi with me and it had been like Aggie.
And that's one of the things about splitting up the party and stuff so often, like you guys do, is whether or not you have the correct person there for, to deal with a certain situation, or whether or not you're just gonna have to kind of push through with whatever
you have.
Yeah. It's a fun part of D&D in general. It's like, okay, so you're heading into a dungeon and stuff. Like, do you bring the rogue to disarm traps, or do they protect the stuff like that, right? If you don't have them, well, you're gonna have to figure out how to disarm traps on your own, or what have you.
There are also like other things we can try and confirm that we saw in those visions. Like we can go talk to the wizards who build the RDD and see what exactly they do whenever we close a rift.
You could have, yeah. I mean, there's like probably like 6 or 7. And that was part of the thing going into this episode, was like, okay, there's a dozen different paths that these guys can take to either start confirming some things, or setting up for their own personal stories, or trying to move the plot along and just kind of rushing into the next story beat or whatever. And I went into this episode going, okay, so I have a plan for this, I have a plan for this, and I have a plan for this. And I was like, okay, so I kind of know what's going to happen or what the different paths. And then you guys like started taking 3 different paths at once, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't know how to deal with it. So I was improvising a lot of that stuff, and trying to drop little bits and pieces to set up for stuff where I could, which is fun. I don't get to do that.
That's
very
one
often.
of the things I'm struggling with Aggie, is he's a dumbass. And like
he's definitely proved that today with the
rolls hurt.
well, I mean,
the rolls.
Not even necessarily the rolls, but like, I was expecting a little bit more out of Aggie during the blacksmith thing. Like, I figured you'd come up and start being all like, charismatic and smooth and so on and so forth, and then you're like, you spent 5 minutes saying the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
was like,
that was also
okay,
my brain just completely short-circuiting.
that happens from time to time. But yeah, I still think a couple people, I still think everybody in at least a little bit still needs to figure out how to settle into the headspace of their characters, and start figuring stuff out. But that's the beauty of a long-term campaign like this, is like you're not going to be the same player and or character at the end of the story as when you started it. Right? So
Yeah.
you can see that evolution kind of long, and we're only 4 episodes. We still got plenty of time.
We have a long way to go, yeah.
A lot of time to really figure things out. So, but I am excited for where we're going next, though. Super happy. I don't want to spoil things. We're not going to talk about it. I just wanted to make that comment. But anybody else want to talk about anything in particular? Anything you guys may have noticed that I'm dropping for the future, or questions you might have, or does chat have any questions or anything like that?
So one thing that kept getting me so bad was, I'm pretty sure during the episode with Aggie, or like with Aggie's like vision of the tunnel and stuff, I'm pretty sure you just said red handprint. I'm pretty sure you didn't say painted red hand and chanting and stuff. And my brain went to, oh, that's a bloody handprint. This is some weird fucked up shit in here. And then there was chanting and stuff. So my brain's going, that's blood. Meanwhile, here Aggie is like investigating a handprint painted on a door, like a specifically painted door. And I'm just sitting here, but what if it's not paint? Like, has that not crossed Aggie's mind at all? Like, that it was blood and not paint?
That
Like,
is
chanting
probably my burnt out brain reading my notes and going, oh, red handprint on it? It's painted red handprint.
I was sitting here like,
Also, you know what's weird?
Leslie has
No,
to have at least thought this, right? It's probably just an Aggie thing. Like, obviously this is paint. This isn't blood. But like,
and Aggie completely missing the fact that, oh, I'm going to conjure up an image of men and it's someone completely different. Who is that person? Oh, it's a lower council member. Maybe we should have gone talk to her. No.
I was wondering what was gonna happen, because like, I know you were thinking about it, and then what was it? Zen dropped you, and you immediately jumped into the character of like, scramble away.
Yeah.
yeah. I thought that's where you were going. I'm not gonna lie, the moment you got that info and got dropped, I honestly thought that's where you were gonna go. And then you were like just fucking around with Sammy in the crowd.
I didn't really know. I wasn't really like planning on breaking from it, but Sammy was just like, I want to try and catch up. I was like, all right, well, I guess it's a game of tag now. And after I escaped, I was like, I don't know what the fuck Aggie's going to do right now.
To be fair, I don't think Aggie has any idea what he's gonna do. I think Aggie, based on the way you've been playing him so far, is a very like kind of ADHD individual, but also one of those types of ADHD that like he swaps between stuff, but like whatever he's swapping to, he's fully focused on it for those like few moments that he's focusing on it. You know what I mean? And until his attention leaves, he's in that zone, right?
He gets hyper focused on things very easily.
Yeah. Hyper focus without the ability to actually focus. Which is fun for a character. I like it. It's led to some interesting moments so far. But heading towards Organa could have been an interesting way of dealing with things. Because you guys are teasing around certain things, and I kind of want to see what you guys think. We'll see. I'm just happy I got to set up a bunch of things. And there might be things that I don't know if you guys even realized I was setting up, but what I love about foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. Later on, it'll smack us in the face, and we'll be like,
yeah.
I hope that came through.
I don't know if it did, but yeah.
The sound. Yeah.
Yeah, well, overall, not a super, I guess, eventful episode to sit here and talk about and stuff. But this might be a fairly short bonus action. But any statements, anything like that you guys want to say about this or potentially something happening in the future, anything like that, before we sign off for the evening?
Not particularly. I think we good.
Yeah, like a very short bonus action. We didn't have a ton going on. Like I said, the episode was a lot of setting up for stuff. But tune in next week, because next week have some very interesting things happen, because to see what exactly it is Min is going to do with our party. And I'm excited for you guys to. But yeah, tune in next week. Until then, take care, love each other, do all that stuff. This is me giving an outro. Look at these, how to do them. So we're gonna consider that done, and we'll see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.